Good morning, everyone. It's game day here on the Ocean City Boardwalk at allCampus. Big game, a must-win game for the Philadelphia Eagles. If you want to get into that 7 seed, I know it's hard to fathom after the trash that we watched last week, but there is still a chance for this. But you got to win today. We're down here talking about everything: football, Eagles, Jets, fantasy, game picks. We're brought to you by allCampus and Johnny Coyle down here between 10th and 11th Street on the Ocean City Boardwalk. A2D members, 20% off. We got cornhole, hat in hand, get 4 cornhole shots, get up to 40% off. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Instagram, Twitch. You miss anything here on A2D Radio, download us in podcast form. Spreaker, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, iTunes. 2022 is going to be our biggest year yet. Don't miss a thing. Like, subscribe, share, join the party. This is the Rant booth. So if you see us, you're local, come on down. Hop on for a few minutes.
Your chest.
And, it's labeled as the Eagles pregame show, Johnny. But,
right.
If you're a Seattle Seahawks fan, you want to talk about the Seahawks?
Come on up.
Come on up. If you're a Yankees fan and you want to talk about the lockout and the Yankees not doing anything in the off-season so far, you could throw the Phillies in that as well. Not really doing much. Come on down. Rant. Buy a hat. Get 40% off. Become an A2D member. $9.99 a month. Special shout-outs, perks, game picks from the Money Pop Podcast, which is live right now, getting ready to wrap up. They really know their stuff. There's our resident Cowboys fans right now. North Carolina, all decked out in the baby blue. Big win over Michigan.
Big win.
Well, a little money on that, too.
Yeah.
On North Carolina. I love that team, North Carolina.
They're a good team.
I really like that team. I have a futures bet on them to win the national championship. I think 35-1 I got them. I think they're a real good team.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be reckoned with. And then, after the football last night, Alabama, obviously the big SEC win, but Alabama basketball takes down Gonzaga. And let me tell you something, that Alabama basketball team, they can really play. Guard-heavy veterans. So we're ranting about everything. We're going to touch on Sixers. We're going to touch on Phillies, Flyers, Eagles, obviously. But let's get to our poll question.
That's the biggest one, right?
Biggest poll question to date.
Yeah.
On the Eagles pregame show since I've hopped on. Mustache Mania is taking over here in Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts is officially out of the football game. Gardner Minshew will start the football game. Our poll question today, Gardner Minshew will be the Eagles starter for the rest of the season. This is a loaded poll question.
This is a loaded poll question.
Because this is perfect. I mean, you dream of stuff like this. I was writing our show sheet last night for our social media people, and then the news broke from Derek Gunn. I saw it first on Twitter that Jalen Hurts was going to miss and Gardner Minshew was going to play. Because now you're going to have now it adds like a third segment to this fan base. Because you have the people who thought Carson was good,
right, and
he shouldn't have been traded.
Then you had the Jalen Hurts.
Then you have the Jalen Hurts. You have the Jalen Hurts crew.
Yep.
And the people, he's very polarizing. He stinks. He's good.
It's either one way or the other with him.
No one really knows what to make of him. I don't think the Eagles know what to make of him either. If you want to look at some reports by Jeff McClain, I believe he writes for the Inquirer.
Correct.
He had a nice, very interesting story this week that we're going to get into as well. But I'm going to throw it to you, Gardner Minshew. Is he going to be the Eagles starter for the rest of the season?
Gosh. It lines up perfectly to say yes and agree to this, right? He's playing the Jets. 90% chance he's going to look good, right? I mean, against the Jets, you're really not supposed to look bad, any quarterback. So if he does look good, it's going to be hard to take the ball away from him. Say we blow out and we win 38-10. How do you go into next week taking the ball away from him if he goes 85% passing, 270 yards, 3 touchdowns? It's set up for him to be the starter next week.
Well, you got to buy next week, and then you're in Washington.
I hope personally, I want Jalen Hurts to come back after the bye and get the ball. That's where I want I want the team to get behind a quarterback, I don't care what quarterback, and say, you are my guy.
And that's an interesting point. That's a good point by you. Get behind a guy.
Just get behind a guy. We haven't seen it since Donovan.
Wouldn't you agree? Well, they were behind Carson in 2017, and then he fell off. I mean,
okay.
When you're playing as good as Carson did in 2017.
You were behind him for half a year.
Yeah, and they were behind Nick, too.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, they were. That team, that locker room loved Nick.
For a 4-game run.
Good question.
Yeah, you'll know because you don't know where they stand on him. Was it the injuries that pushed Carson? Did they not like him in the front office? I don't know. I just want to see Howie, Jeffrey, just say, I have my guy. I'm content. I'm going to stop going out, signing people, trading for people, drafting guys. I have my guy. I don't care who it is.
But,
just needs to be someone.
To your point, I think that the team believes in Jalen Hurts. Wants to believe in Jalen Hurts, I should say. But when you get the 60 minutes on Sunday or Monday or whenever you're playing the football game, it's like, Jalen,
he looked
come
bad.
on.
Yeah,
come on.
Bad.
What are we doing? I mean, just rudimentary, elementary, just not even high school, middle school mistakes, but kindergarten, preschool mistakes last week. I mean, we watched the game together after we do the Rant booth, and you're going in before halftime, and you're about to get at least 3. There's 8 seconds left,
and we were both screaming it the whole time. Just don't make a mistake. Take the 3.
Throw the ball into the 4,000 level of MetLife Stadium and kick the ball, and he throws a pick into triple coverage, and it just can't happen. Yeah. So, to your point about getting behind a quarterback, Jalen Hurts has the intangibles, and Jalen Hurts is likable amongst his teammates to command the respect of the locker room when he's not playing football.
I was just about to say, does the talent match the respect level?
No. And it's the Tebow factor. You want Tebow. You
like Tebow.
When you're he's doing his press conferences, he's a really good person. He does all the charity stuff. He relates to his teammates really well. But then Timmy Tebow would go on the football field for the Denver Broncos and I think
go 11 for 30.
And go 11 for 30 and you can't throw the ball and that. And then you kind of say we like you, but we need a franchise quarterback.
Right.
I'd rather mess around with Deshaun Watson, who might be a creep, but he's going to go out there and go 25 and 30 for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. I don't think Jalen Hurts is that type of guy.
I don't think he's that type of guy. I do think towards the poll question that I think it needs to be more. Not do we think Minshew is going to be the guy, but what is Jalen Hurts the guy? Right? Because if Jalen Hurts is the guy, no matter how good Minshew looks, he's coming back.
Couple of things on that. So it's a very clever inactive by the Eagles because you have the bye next week, and Jalen Hurts has an extreme amount of mud on his face after last week. Just a horrible, horrendous performance. A 17 QBR.
It was horrible.
That's impossible.
It was absolutely horrible. Yeah.
That's like getting a 500 on your SATs and you get 250.
Misspelling your name.
Yeah, you get 250 points for writing your name.
Right.
It's like, kid, come on. You get 200 for writing your name and you only got a 440?
Right.
What are we doing here? A 17 QBR? I've never seen one that low in my life. And you have the 3 turnovers accompanied by the Boston Scott inexplicable fumble where he just dropped the ball in the middle of the field. I still maintain that Boston Scott doesn't fumble that football in the fourth quarter, that the Eagles escape New York with a win last week. But, that's done. The Eagles lost. But it's a clever inactive because you have the bye next week. Obviously, is his ankle sore? Is it hurt? We don't really know. Right. Maybe he would benefit from watching Gardner Minshew.
I hate that theory.
Look, but it could work. Maybe I'm grasping at straws because, I want Jalen Hurts to be the guy.
Right. This is how
I want to use my cap space and my draft picks on non-quarterbacks.
This is what I wanted Sirianni or Roseman or someone to say is Jalen Hurts is my guy, but we're giving him this week because we have the bye week next week to give him 2 weeks to heal, be 100% to be ready to go down the stretch.
But now
But you didn't get that.
But you leave yourself an out to go right back to Jalen.
Is that the out that Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni want? Do they always want that out, or do they really believe Jalen Hurts is the guy?
First of all, I don't think Nick Sirianni has much say in who starts at quarterback.
You're probably right, and that's a shame. That's
itself. A shame, and that goes back to we talked about the pyramid of frustration,
right.
The higher, and it you got the receivers, then you got the quarterback, and it all funnels back to the top to two guys, and that's Jeffrey and Howie.
Yep.
So you have an out being like, okay, Gardner went in there, he did his job, he's the backup quarterback, he played against the Jets. I think the Eagles are going to win today.
You would like to think so.
I'm biased.
Right,
I kind of been on that train for a while now. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. I think the Eagles are going to win today.
Right.
Gardner, and now you have Sirianni and Roseman and Laurie, whoever's making that decision, was like, Jalen Hurts was banged up. He's our starting quarterback. It's business as usual against Washington in Week 15. We're going back to our starting quarterback.
That's what I want to hear. I want to hear it today. I want to hear them say that today. Or actually, I wanted to hear it yesterday when they announced that he was out. But that's what I want to hear, right? Hey, Jalen Hurts is only out because of this injury. He's not out because of the game last week that he played. And that's what I'm feeling like I'm getting, right? Is you're benching him because of the game that happened, and you're going to Gardner Minshew because of this quarterback factory or whatever the hell we have.
I think if Sirianni has any type of say, he wants Gardner in there.
Oh, you really think that?
Yes. Look, this ground and pound against the Saints and the Broncos that the Eagles did and they were successful with, that is not how Nick Sirianni wants to play football. That's not how he wants to call plays. Right. That's not how the owner wants plays called.
Yeah, I would assume that's not his game plan, yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
He ran the ball out of necessity. That's why when push came to shove against the Giants last week, Jalen Hurts is throwing the ball 31 times instead of 20 times like he should. So the ground and pound style of offense that the Eagles implored to beat the Broncos and beat the Saints, that's
our coach's game plan.
No.
Yes.
He adapted to his credit, adapted to his personnel.
Right.
But like we talk about every darn week here on the Rant booth, people don't change.
Nope.
You're going to revert back to what you want to do.
Yep.
And the way Nick Sirianni wants to call plays isn't conducive to what Jalen Hurts is good at or can do or be in this league.
Right. So you're kind of, and I'm not knocking you on it, but you're kind of going two ways on this, right? Is it Nick Sirianni making this decision, or is this a Howie Roseman decision?
No, this is a Howie Jeffrey decision.
But you think it benefits Nick Sirianni's game plan that he wants?
I think if Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie said, Nick, all right, you can start whoever you want. We don't care. I think he would start Gardner.
I hope that's wrong because as much as I buried Jalen Hurts in the beginning of the year, and I buried him, I literally said he sucks on this program. But he has gotten us to the point where me, you, most of the fan base here didn't expect us to be in. A winning situation where we have a chance to maybe make a playoff spot. Jalen Hurts has done that, guys. No matter what you want to say about him, how negative he is or how inaccurate he is, he's the head of the team. He's the quarterback. He's the most important part, and he's gotten us here. I want to back him, all right? As much as I buried him, I'm here saying I want to back Jalen Hurts. I just want to hear that from my front office.
You're not going to hear that from the front office. And now before we get to some comments here that are flying in, we got a bunch of people watching, and we got some ranters, I think, lining up here. Everyone's playing cornhole. It's an absolutely another gorgeous day.
Absolutely gorgeous day.
I can't believe we had the Chargers game, and that was kind of a stinky day weather-wise. It was windy. It was kind of cold. The sea was rough and choppy. But other than that,
everything else is beautiful, right?
When did we start? What was our first game?
Wow, 6 weeks ago? 5 weeks ago? I can't remember.
I'm trying to think what our first game was.
I can't remember.
Yeah, but maybe the Raiders game when I came on here and said the Eagles were going to whoop the Raiders, and they went out there and laid an egg.
Yeah, but every week's been great. Every week's been great.
Come on down, see us, Rant booth between 10th and 11th Street. We got cornhole. We got hats. Do your holiday shopping. We're open for business here on the Rant booth. But the last thing I want to touch on, and to the poll, I don't even know how I'm going to answer the poll, so I'm just going to keep talking, and then the end.
I want to hear your answer, though. I want to hear where you're at, because we're both kind of getting both sides of it.
Before we get to the Jeff McClain stuff, which I thought was really interesting, let's talk about, like, do you think the Eagles win the football game today?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if the Eagles win the football game, that means Gardner Minshew
should have a good game.
Did at least like a 6 out of 10 performance.
I agree.
Like,
yeah, he should have a 7. Yeah.
The Eagles aren't going to win the football game if Gardner Minshew has a 17 QBR like Jalen Hurts had last week.
Right.
That's just not how you win in this league. You need a good performance from your quarterback. So if the Eagles win today, that means Gardner Minshew played kind of good.
Right.
And I like Gardner Minshew's skill set a little bit. Like, look, is he Patrick Mahomes? Is he like the guy you build around? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But he's athletic. He can run around. I think he can throw the football better than Jalen Hurts. And I think that your skill players, the few that you do have on this football team, Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert being at the head of that class, benefit from a quarterback with more arm talent. Gardner Minshew has more arm talent than Jalen Hurts.
We were talking about
So if he goes out there and plays good, and the Eagles win, and Gardner Minshew has 250 yards, a couple touchdowns, and doesn't shoot your team in the foot like Jalen Hurts last week, I don't know how you go away from him against Washington in 2 weeks. And then, like I said before, it's clever because if he does play good, you can kind of kick the can down the road. Well, Jalen's ankle's still not right. Meaning, my point being is you have an out to go back to Jalen Hurts anytime you want.
I get it. But as a fan, doesn't that piss you off?
No.
It makes me furious.
Look, we're in, December 5th, and we're, like, as unlikely as I think it's down to, like, 40% chance we make this 7 seed.
Right.
But, like, we're in December talking about meaningful football.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't care. Like, if we do this show, if we went in the time machine and we did this show in July or August, am I pissed off that we don't have a franchise quarterback? Absolutely.
100%.
But right now on December 5th, when I can put together some wins and maybe get 9 wins and sneak into this playoffs, I don't care who's the quarterback.
Really?
I want to win. We'll worry about who's the franchise quarterback and who's the quarterback next year, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. We'll worry about in the offseason. Now you just got to kick the can down the road and get a win any way you can.
At some point, the can down the road thing has got to bite you in the ass.
I agree with you.
Right?
But not today. I can't worry about that today.
When does it stop?
Until you get a franchise quarterback. Well, look, and I know Carson Wentz had his flaws, and I don't want to get into a Carson Wentz thing here, but Carson Wentz is a franchise quarterback in the sense that the Colts have their quarterback for the next 3, 5, 10 years.
Correct.
Like, the Colts aren't going into the draft looking for a quarterback.
No.
The Eagles are. You know?
But do we have to be? I don't think we have to be. Do you not think Jalen Hurts has done enough to we just said it a couple of weeks ago. Jalen Hurts has done enough to have the ball handed to him next year.
Yeah, I said that after the Denver game. Yes, he played spectacular. The problem with Jalen Hurts is I see him throw the ball really well against Denver, and then I go see him run the ball really good against the Saints,
right?
And I don't see any games where he puts that together.
He's only really had one stinker, and it was last week, right? He's had some bad games in the beginning of the year, but he's only had one real true, like, disaster game.
Right.
And it was last week.
And the boys on Sunday night, Wilson, Sweeps, Tommy, and Greg,
right?
You know, you can't be a game. They hit the nail right on the head. I think it was Tom or maybe it was Wilson who said it. Like, you can't be a game manager and throw 3 picks in a game.
No, 100%. 100%. But do we hang the guy for that for 1 week?
No.
Are we literally saying, okay, I'm taking the ball from you, you're done? I can't do that.
But,
I can't do that.
This is a perfect segue to the Jeff McClain stuff. And then we're going to get to some comments. Because, surprise, surprise, the Eagles front office, there's a rift. and they don't know what's going on. And it's frustrating as a fan that you can't have a hierarchy that can get on the same page. It seems, according to Jeff McClain, who I actually like, by the way, he gets a lot of heat in this city.
He's pretty good. Yeah.
I really like him because everyone gets on him because he asks questions that are tough,
right?
And the players get kind of mad at him. But that's what I want my media members to do. If I'm in a press conference and I'm asking Fletcher Cox a tough question and he doesn't get mad, I'm mad at Fletcher Cox for not getting mad. Like, get mad. That's cool.
Right.
That's cool. You got some nerd who's probably never played football since high school, if ever, asking a 300-pound All-Pro defensive tackle, Super Bowl champion, some whack question.
Right.
So I don't blame Fletcher Cox for getting mad, and I don't blame the fans for backing Fletcher Cox because he's on the field. But if I don't have media members that are going to ask the tough questions, give your 2 weeks notice and go work. Come down here, go in the Rant booth, sell hats, make pizza next door, do whatever the hell you want.
Right.
So I think Jeff McClain, I think he gets a bad rap. I think he does a good job, and he's been around for a lot of years. And guys that have been around for that many years, they obviously have sources.
100%.
So according to Jeff McClain, there's a little bit of a rift, shocker, on the quarterback position. Jeffrey Lurie seems to be. We want Jalen Hurts.
Right.
We want Jalen Hurts. A second-round pick on him. We want him to be the guy. And it seems like Howie Roseman's kind of like, yo, Jeffrey, like, we gave him a chance. Like, we traded Carson. The bottom fell out with Carson. We gave this guy a chance. And, like, we get stinkers like the Giants game. And like, I just don't see him being, a guy that can win a game by himself, because that's what you need at the quarterback position. 100%. In this league.
And that's
you need a guy when everything is going wrong, like last Sunday.
Yeah,
you need a guy that can pull one out of the fire for you.
And you know what? Like, if we did have a good quarterback, a franchise quarterback, we would have won that game last week.
You would have won the Chargers game. You would have won the Niners game.
Right? We don't have that guy. And to the whole NFL, there's only maybe 10 teams that can say they have that guy.
It's
right?
tough.
It's not like we're the only team out here talking about this and struggling about finding the guy. But you do have to, quote unquote, stay with a guy and back a guy, like you said, until you find the guy. But you can't reach for that, right? You can't go and keep flipping the script every single
And I think
year.
that's where Jeffrey's coming from.
That's where he was coming from, right.
And I see it, but Howie Rose is also like, we don't have our guy. He's not here. And it'll be telling to see, like, if Jalen Hurts goes right back in there after a Minshew success,
right?
That'll tell me that
say 1,000 words. Yes,
that would tell me, assuming that Jeff McClain story is valid and what he's reporting is true,
right?
Which I don't think Jeff McClain, being a journalist for many, many years in this city, would put out something just totally erroneous and false.
No, right. But you're not going to get that answer until week 15.
So if Minshew's success and then Jalen's right back in there, that tells me that Jeffrey is meddling entirely too much. And his golden boy, Howie Roseman, he doesn't have a say either.
Oh, okay. You want to take it that way? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
If Gardner success and Gardner after success goes in there against Washington,
right?
That tells me that Jeffrey
makes the calls.
Pulling if Minshew stays in, that tells me that Jeffrey is pulling back and letting Nick and Howie work together on who should play in the football game on Sunday, which is how it should be.
Yeah. I don't want to listen. I just, as a fan, I don't want to look at it that way. I don't want to deal with that. I really don't. I just want as a fan base, as a guy who's passionate about my Philadelphia Eagles, I just want my owner, my GM to be on the same page and to come out and say it. Come out and say it. Right? If Jalen Hurts is your guy, come out and say it. If he's not, then come out and say it. Like, I'm okay with you thinking he's not our guy. We're going to give Gardner Minshew the ball and see what he can do. Right? Just say it. I think it would be a lot better for the locker room. I think it'd be a lot better for the media out here in Philadelphia. I think it'd be a lot better for everyone instead of us sitting here trying to think or discuss what Nick, Jeffrey, and Howie are thinking.
Great comment here by Harlem Cowboy. Do you realize that Jalen Hurts is 0-4 in the division? So he's had 4 starts against division opponents. He hasn't won one of them.
I mean,
not exactly.
No, it's not going to win you divisions.
It's not, and it's not like it's the NFC North here.
Right. You got some bad teams.
You got Cowboys and the Giants stink, and we're not very. The Eagles aren't very good, and Washington football team.
Right.
They are what they are.
Right.
So Tommy Arnone, he's in the house. Let's win a football game. Yeah, and that's where I'm at, Tommy. You know, like I don't care who's the quarterback next year. I do, but not today. You know, I want to win a freaking game.
I don't care. Today it's Gardner Minshew, and I'm all behind him. I'm for it. But week 15, man, that worries me. If Gardner Minshew gets the ball, I don't care how good he does. If you give him the ball week 15, you're pretty much imploding this team again. You're starting from freaking scratch. Because you're going to go into the offseason, you're going to use all this so-called capital that we have in draft stock, and you're going to waste it on another quarterback.
It's not so-called. Well, it depends.
If Gardner Minshew is week 15 starter, Jalen Hurts is not starting week 1. Right? For next year. He's not our starter. You're
probably right, but I like I said, I don't want to go there. Right now, today. I want to beat the New York Jets, and we got Gardner Minshew. And if Gardner Minshew looks good, and he gives me the best chance to go on a little bit of a run here and grab the 7 seed, then Jalen Hurts needs to take a seat.
I hear you, and you're right. You're right in saying that. But realistically, let's say we get the 7 seed. We're getting smacked by Tampa. We're getting smacked by Green Bay. We're not winning, right? So, yes, next year is what we have to look forward to. We're not winning, guys. Let's get that out of our heads. All right?
See, now this is the Sam Hinkie process mentality that I like. Why can't I just root for the team to be in the playoffs? Cool. You get
great.
smacked.
Okay, fine.
Why can't we do a show here in mid-January leading up to a playoff game?
I'm all for that. I'm great.
Doesn't sound like it.
But is Gardner Minshew your playoff starter?
If he plays well and gets you there, then yeah, sure, why not?
I'm okay. Listen,
John.
You're blowing it up again, though.
I don't agree. I think that's taking this 2 mediocre quarterbacks. I think you're making it. I think you're building a mountain out of a molehill a little bit here on December 5th.
We said the same thing about Carson Wentz. Jalen Hurts got drafted in the 2nd round. No, he's just here for protection. He's just here in case he get injured.
Yeah, I think
we are.
I think that was the plan, but Carson, he had a mental meltdown over it, and he couldn't handle it.
And I'm sure Jalen Hurts is going to take this real well if you take the ball from him week 15.
I don't, because he's been benched kind of everywhere he's gone, so he's kind of used to it.
Wow.
Look, he got benched for a freshman in a national championship game.
I get it, but
took his ball to Oklahoma and got smacked up again in the playoff.
You usually don't take this as an athlete when you're told you're not good enough after being told you were good enough. I'm out.
The biggest difference, but the different.
It's the
then
best.
You gotta hate Jalen Hurts then.
Why?
Because he been banged. Thrown out of Alabama because he wasn't good enough.
I don't care about his pass. He's my Eagles quarterback right now. He's my guy.
But don't you understand the mentality of a 2nd pick in the draft as opposed to a 2nd round pick is different?
Maybe, but not being told after they
plus Carson
after they ship out the guy who they took in the 2nd pick.
Yeah, but the ink
and said, "Hey, it's your ball."
In Carson's defense, the ink was still wet on his $100 million contract, and then they're taking a quarterback in the 2nd round. So isn't it natural for Carson Wentz to be like, yo, guys, like I'm getting all these big checks, and now I got to worry 100%. About this guy? Like I'm rehabbing my keister off to be a $100 million quarterback, and you already drafted my replacement. Like, well, what are we doing here?
100%. And what this is what I'm saying is the rotation, the flip over, the change every single year. You're doing it again. You're doing it again.
But
You're
I
giving
wasn't.
Gardner Minshew the ball and saying, it's yours now. Screw Jalen. I don't care what you did.
The difference is, and what you're not recognizing, what I'm trying to explain to you, is that Carson Wentz is and was a franchise quarterback. Established. Jalen Hurts is not.
All right.
So, I can't sit here and pound the table for Jalen Hurts when he's done absolutely nothing to prove to me he's a franchise quarterback. Carson Wentz is the MVP. I don't care what the awards was.
Right.
Like, he was the MVP in 2017. He was the best player in the NFL.
Yes, he was.
He should have been the MVP.
Yep.
So, you can't just pull the plug on that. That's tougher. That's a much bigger conversation.
That theory, that thinking will lead you to never finding a franchise quarterback.
Well, I mean, they don't have one. They don't have one now.
If you give up on a guy after he has one bad game, you will never find a franchise quarterback. That's my point right there. He just said it. Is I don't care about the 7th seed so much because we're going to get smacked in the playoffs anyway. I want to win.
What's your name again?
I want to win a Super Bowl, which means I need to know if Jalen Hurts is my guy. He still could be the guy.
He's not a rookie. Stop.
I'm okay with saying he's not a rookie. But besides last week, he hasn't put up a stinker. He has been okay. He's been a great game manager.
I'm not against Jalen Hurts getting the ball in Week 15.
Okay.
At all.
All right.
Because Gardner Minshew, even if he plays well today, he's Gardner Minshew.
I hear you. Then come out and say it, Howie. I want to hear you say it.
But according to
Jalen Hurts gets the ball.
According to Jeff McClain, Howie is skeptical that Jalen Hurts of him being a franchise quarterback.
That's literally Howie thinking he needs to do his job for no particular reason. Just shut up. Your job is over. This is our team now. Stop working. All right, Howie? Stop working. Go sit and enjoy the game. Have a beer during the game. Get drunk and watch. Be a fan. Stop working.
I hope he watched. Hope he was watching that SEC title game yesterday.
Oh God! Please stop.
What?
Well,
there's pros all over the field.
Oh! I thought you were talking about quarterback.
Well, Stetson Bennett is not a pro quarterback, and Bryce Young, he can't come out for
next
2
year.
more years.
Next year.
Next year.
Yeah,
so he's not going to be in the draft, but just animals.
Yeah,
up and down. So I hope he sunk in a little.
I'm talking about just your own team, right? This is our team. We can't make any more changes. This is it. So enjoy the season and enjoy it for what it is and do your work in the off season. But Jalen Hurts is our guy. Please. Jalen Hurts is our guy. Stop meddling. Stop trying to make it work.
Andy Atkinson, here we go. Minshew is going off today. 18 for 29, 308 yards, 3 touchdowns. Smith will have the best game in his early career. And then, oh boy, this is going to get very interesting.
Thank you. Oh boy. I don't want the damn oh boy.
No, neither do I. Because if you got two quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks.
You got none. Exactly. 100%.
I totally agree with that. Alec B checks down YouTube. He says, we're killing it. Great show. Thanks, Alec.
Thanks,
Be an A2D member. We'll get you some merch. We'll get you some game picks. We'll get you special shout-outs. We'll get you the whole deal. Drip you up for 2022. Going to be a big year, 2022, for A2D Radio. So hop on board. Harlem Cowboy, who do you guys think had the best first-round pick in the division? Go ahead. Talk about your Parsons.
Oh, but yeah. 100%. The guy not only will win Defensive Rookie of the Year, he could be Defensive Player of the Year.
He probably is.
And we passed on him, guys. We passed on him, and everyone's still happy about that. I don't understand.
Yeah, the problem is Smith doesn't have a franchise quarterback to get him the ball. I think Smith's best days are ahead of him.
I agree. I think Smith is going to be a fine player. I'm not denying that.
And
I said it a million times, though. A wide receiver is never going to make a franchise quarterback. A middle linebacker is going to make a top 5 defense. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Well, I think the fans, and the kind of football that gets played here in the NFL, it's a throw happy league, and you need receivers. Everybody has, we had no receivers
I hear
last
you.
year.
I hear you, but
It was the worst position group
if you
in the
don't have
entire
a quarterback,
NFL.
the receiver is useless.
Well, I think the thinking was that Hurts, being a young quarterback, getting the Heisman Trophy, a guy who can get open consistently, and Devontae Smith, that would have helped us get the answer, like Jeff here said, about Jalen Hurts much faster.
I again,
do you know?
I'm tired of rolling the dice. I'm tired of saying what if. And let's just get it.
And Harlem Cowboy, and you're right. Mike Parsons was the best first-round pick in the division, and Harlem Cowboy and Cowboy Jeff over here, they're going to have a great middle linebacker, edge rusher, however you want to classify him for the next.
He could play safety. He probably could play corner. He could do it all.
Yeah, they're going to have a great player for the next 12, 15 years.
Yeah.
The only thing, how good of stats would Devontae Smith have right now if Carson Wentz was the quarterback of this team?
There it is. And I'm done with it. I don't want the what if.
I'm only using Carson.
What if.
Well, I got somewhat of a rebuttal.
No,
a little bit.
But you're right. You're right. I can't say you're wrong, right? If Devontae Smith has proven he can get open in this league.
Because Carson needed one guy that he could rely on. When was it?
Right.
I guess it was 2020.
Right.
His last year. He needed one guy.
He didn't have one guy have 500 yards, I believe.
Because Ertz was hurt that year, and Goddard was
still young.
Yeah. I still can't believe they gave Goddard all that money, but to each whatever. I'm not touching that right now.
But you're right. Yeah. Carson never had that guy that he can call.
If you give Devontae Smith to a franchise, and I'm only using Carson Wentz as an example because he was here.
Right.
Carson Wentz is gone, and
you could say for anyone. Yeah.
But if you give Carson Wentz franchise quarterback Devontae Smith, that's where Devontae Smith would have been the right pick.
I agree with you,
but the way things transpired, they should have picked Parsons.
And I said that, and I get killed for it all the time. And I'm tired of saying it, honestly, is a wide receiver doesn't make you better if you don't have a quarterback.
Even I was a big Surtain guy.
I would have loved him too. But a middle linebacker changes your entire defense. It makes you a bottom half defense to a top 5 defense just by adding that guy.
And you're right, and you turned out to be right. But, I didn't see Micah Parsons making an Eagles defense. I didn't think one guy was going to take a defense that was dreadful in Dallas last year and make them, borderline top 10.
Top 10. They are top 10 defense.
Probably.
They are a top 10 defense.
So, I don't know. I guess I just can't. I didn't see what you saw. I know Tom Arnone, our Grand Poobah here at A2D Radio. He
was all over him too. But
he was all over him too.
But when Smith was there, he changed. He wanted Smith, right? When it came down to it, he wanted Smith.
Just look at all his fantasy football teams. He doesn't have a running back. He's never heard of a running back. He wants receivers and he wants to throw the football.
And again, I'm not knocking Smith. Smith is going to be a good player, a great player for this team. I hear you. I understand it. I don't think he is going to transform the team like a Parsons would have done.
That's fair. But and then my philosophy on draft, the last thing I'll say in my defense of Devontae Smith over Micah Parsons, which I'm trying hard here. I think I'm doing an okay job, even though I'm clearly wrong. But I'm going to go down swinging. I'm going to keep trying.
Oh, boy.
The key to the draft, in my opinion, is not missing. Because that kills you.
100%. I do not think.
And you look at the receivers that are coming out and how they can just step in instantly and play, unless you get drafted by the Eagles and you're Jalen Reagor and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
Yeah,
they step in right away.
Right.
When you see a guy that's one of the most prolific, statistically speaking, prolific receivers in SEC history.
Right.
Over his tenure there at Alabama. And you have a receiving core that's the worst position group in the NFL, I can't really fault them for taking Smith, and Smith is not. There was a very low bust factor
100%,
on Devontae Smith.
100%.
Whereas Micah Parsons, he's at Penn State and he sat out because of the pandemic and that thing. That stuff made me nervous with the prospects.
I hear you.
Like Penei Sewell sat out. Like Parsons sat out.
Good too.
Jamar Chase sat out. I'm just saying, obviously those guys are looking good, and that was maybe me being a worrywart a little bit, but that made me nervous in terms of sitting out a whole year. Because remember Le'Veon Bell, he's one of the best running backs in the league, and he sat out 1 year. See you later. He's not even on a team, I don't think.
Right. And this will be the last thing I say on it. Also, taking Devontae Smith is not a bad pick. All right, it was not a bad pick. We did not miss. All right, so I'm not going to knock Howie for that. But as a GM, I just think I would have thought differently.
But if you took J.C. Horn and he breaks his foot like he did in Week 4, and you could have had Micah Parsons,
right?
Then it's oh my God, that's devastating.
Yeah,
and we already had the devastating with Arthega, Whiteside you missed, and Rager. I mean, those guys are so bad that those guys are so bad, Cowboy Jeff, that you have to go back to the receiving well again next offseason.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Great talent. That's just wasted. Yeah.
Can I scroll up on these comments?
I don't know how to do that. All right, later, Jeff. Have a good one, bud.
Yeah, Jeff is sitting pretty. Jeff is sitting pretty here, winning on Thursday.
He wanted to come in and give a little brag. Yeah.
At least he wasn't in a gross Cowboys jersey. He's decked out in his North Carolina gear. Anyway, one of our biggest fans, Cowboy. Come on down. Cowboy Jeff just left. We got room for you, too. Come on, Rant. Tell me I'm an idiot because I like Devontae Smith. I want to take Devontae Smith over Micah Parsons.
You're not an idiot for that. It just was the wrong pick.
Tell Johnny's an idiot because he thought Ben Simmons was going to be a reclamation project.
I still think Ben Simmons is the best. You want to get into that a little bit of Sixers, Flyers, Phillies talk before we get down to fantasy?
Yeah, because the show's flying by.
Right? Yeah, it
flying
really
by.
is.
It's been a lot of fun. This is what happens when you have a loaded poll question.
Yeah.
And this is why everyone asks me, oh, man, it must stink doing a show when the Eagles suck or the Sixers suck. It's so much better and so much easier.
So much easier.
2017, it was Eagles won 40-0 again. And you just go on and it's big kumbaya fest.
It's so much easier to hate than it is to love.
Yeah. It's easy to hate.
Yes, it is.
Easy. Because hate gets thrown around a lot.
But let's a little dive into the Sixers here. It's just a little dive into how bad they are.
Well,
big win against Atlanta.
They get a win against without Tobias Harris Friday night against the Hawks, which is good.
And before we talk about the game, I do love the post-game interview statement by Joel. Did you see that? About how we're missing $400 million from our payroll, and we still go out there and get a big win. That's a good statement by him. I like my leader coming out and saying that. That's a great statement.
Yeah, and Joe is a leader.
Yeah. He's turning into more and more of a leader off the court, which I think this team needs, than what I thought he would be, which is nice.
Look, and a lot of my, I'm going to lay out a lot of criticism of the Sixers here based on how they play basketball on the court.
Yeah,
and we're going to leave alone the front office and how they've just mishandled the Ben Simmons. We're going to leave that alone for a second.
Yep.
But when I watch this team, they're lazy on defense.
Yes, they are.
They can't defend the three.
No, they cannot. I feel like teams just get to the paint at will also and have easy kickouts.
I can't, and I know a lot of people are going to jump in the chat. Rob, you're a moron. If Ben Simmons were here, none of that would happen. I see the problem being much bigger than Ben Simmons just not being here.
Do you?
I do.
I don't. I think it's Ben Simmons not being here.
So you think Ben Simmons comes in and they gel for a couple weeks and then they're back to defending and
look at
playing
the history.
Basketball that got them the one seed in the East?
Look at the history. We win with that team with Ben Simmons in. We don't have him, we don't win.
And this
seems pretty simple to me.
I think it's more than that. I think Danny Green is a shell of himself.
Okay.
I just
I don't think
look,
I don't think Thibault's developed into the kind of player that we thought he would be either. That hurts a little bit. He hasn't. The dude can't stay on the court without fouling out.
It's true.
He can't.
Good point.
He can never be a starter in this league. He can never be a starter because of that. I don't care about his shooting, his ball handling, his turnovers. I don't care about that. He can't stay on because he cannot play defense without fouling.
I don't think it's magic that Ben Simmons comes back and you're going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, I think it will happen.
You think he'll come back and they're going to go to the Eastern Conference
100%.
Finals?
I have one question for you and for everyone else out there is why are we not cheering for him to come back? Why are we not sitting here saying, please come back begging him?
I think that train's right around the corner.
Why are we not saying it? Why are we still bashing him?
I'm almost there.
We should be on our hands and knees begging him to come back. Not for us to trade him, but begging him to come back.
He's not getting traded.
He's not getting traded.
Nope.
No.
Would have happened already, and now his value is so low that Morey's not going to pull the trigger. And that's probably smart.
100%.
Because, you can't sell an asset at its lowest point. That's economics 101.
Yep.
So he's not getting traded.
So let's beg for him to come back. Let's stop bashing the guy, and let's try to make him feel a little bit wanted.
It's just unbelievable that, now we're at the point where this team just looks so putrid, offensively and defensively. Well, I mean, you score 88.
I think the stat was offensively we've gone up, right?
I don't see that at all.
And defensively we come down.
I mean, I know what I see when I watch the Sixers. I actually watched both games. Sometimes it's tough to watch because I'm at work and then I'm doing other stuff, and it's a long season. But I watched the Celtics game and I watched the Hawks game.
Yeah.
And, you score 87 points against the Boston Celtics
in
the NBA.
That was bad.
Well, you still don't even break 100 against the Hawks. Granted, you don't have Tobias. I get that.
Right.
But, I don't see anything up on the offensive end of the ball.
And you know what it is?
And Doc Rivers is horrible.
I agree with you. Doc Rivers, something needs to change with the structure of the offense and how it's being run. But, and I hate – I love saying
Doc
it. Doc
just stands there, and it's Sam Cassell who's got his hands in the dough, so to speak.
I guess that's how it always is with every coach, right? Every coach always has the assistant coach running whatever. If Sam Cassell does the offense, that's what he does.
But if I need a bucket, this team should not be giving the ball to Joel Embiid
with 3 seconds left on the clock.
At the 3-point line on the wing.
Right, I agree. But who's taking it? That guy, and again,
Joe should take it.
No,
I have a problem.
No, shouldn't. It should be Tobias. At the end of games, Tobias needs to get the ball.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with Joe getting the ball. I have a problem with Joe getting the ball at the 3-point line on the wing.
I have a huge problem with it because all he's going to do is, if let's say we post him up, he's going to get straight doubled. He's going to get straight doubled.
Then you kick it out to your Tobias, and then he's got to do it.
I just want it in his hands. I want it in Tobias' hands.
You can't ISO a play for Tobias Harris.
That's what we pay him for. That's what we pay him for. He's supposed to be that guy.
You need to cover up Tobias Harris's salary and just watch at what he can and can't do because his salary is ridiculous. He's not a $180 million player.
Well,
so you need to stop expecting $180 million results. It's not.
That's what. But when you constructed this team, I think Tobias was supposed to be that position 4, right? Who can take other 4s off the ball. He was supposed to be our guy that can do that.
I hear you.
I think he can do it. I just don't think he does do it. That's all.
SJM 86. Rob's rocking the Ty Detmer turtleneck. Love it. Devontae Smith was the pick. Come on now.
Stop it.
Alec B, in relation to my Dallas Goedert ridiculous, awful, horrendous contract. Dallas Goedert deserves it. We got to lock down our best players. I hate to be honest, but Hurts might be holding – what is that? Hurts might be holding guys like Goddard back. Maybe.
100%. I'm not going to deny that.
That's why it'll be interesting to see what a Devontae Smith can do and what a Dallas Goedert can do. We literally just said it
before we came on. I said to you, Dallas Goedert's to play in fantasy today. I think he's going to have a huge game. He's my guy in fantasy
Well,
that I'm looking at.
he didn't do nothing last week, so
No.
I welcome it. And he's got a $57 million contract to fulfill, so I'm all for it. I've said it for years. Tobias Harris contract, one of the worst in the NBA.
Yeah, it is.
It is. John Wall comes to mind as well,
Yeah.
but Tobias Harris. And, I like Tobias. I
do like him, too.
He can absolutely be a piece on a championship basketball team.
He really can do
Robin.
everything.
He can't be Robin. You got Joe as Batman, and then Tobias as Robin.
Right. He needs to be Catwoman.
Yeah, or like Alfred the butler.
Right.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Right.
But, Robin is Ben, and he seems content practicing with St. Joe's instead of the Sixers, which I don't understand at all. If you can practice and play and scrimmage and work out with a bottom-feeding Atlantic 10 team, you should be in the Sixers facility practicing with the team that pays you $100 million to play basketball.
I agree.
I thought Vigneault was going to get the axe this week, but he didn't.
I hope that doesn't happen.
Why?
I hope that doesn't. I like him as a coach.
What do you like about him? Seven straight losses?
No, well, listen, I'm not going to put that all on him. But he has a pedigree. He has a name. He's a winning coach in this league. I don't want to get rid of the coach, but you do need to make a change somewhere, and I guess that's usually where it happens.
I hear you.
I just don't. Who's your coach?
You have season. I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
Because the guy's ineffective, and you can't trade the whole team, so you got to do something.
No, right. You do need to make a change.
Hockey's like the one sport where you can make a change in mid-season,
right? And it doesn't really,
and it doesn't bottom you out,
right?
And you can get
it's
better.
Been proven usually when you do make a coaching change, that team does get a little kick in the ass usually.
So you're at the games a lot,
yeah.
What's the deal? What's the problem in your eyes?
I don't know. The defense has been better than the offense, and that's something that we have never said in Philadelphia.
They can't score.
We can't score. I don't know if it's just line combinations that aren't working. I'm tired of seeing TK.
He stinks.
I'm
sorry, and he's been he was supposed to. I thought he was going to emerge into the sniper that you needed next to Drew.
He never was. Yeah, he never was that guy.
But we thought, and the fans got excited, and he's just not that good.
Right, and everyone, I hear a lot of, we need to trade Giroux. He's getting towards that. Giroux has never, besides 1 year where we had Yager, he has never played with a true goal scorer. His best goal scorer most of his career was Scotty Hartnell that he played with. We never gave him the guy.
Yeah, and then he was so good in that 2010
with Yager and Hartnell when they were killing it. Yeah,
and he could create on it. He could just go get one.
He's one of the
best.
He
can't go get one by himself anymore.
Giroux is one of the best setup guys, passers in this league, and we have never put them together. And I don't see where that comes. We need that guy. We need a scorer.
Harlem Cowboy, I think Philly sold out not drafting Mac Jones. That's a big miss. I can't go there.
I'm not going there either. Yeah.
Because you can't trade Carson and then pick a quarterback again right away in the first 2 rounds of the draft.
Looks like that's going to happen again this year, but yeah, you're right.
If they pick one of these stinky quarterbacks in the first round of the draft,
I'll tell you one thing. If Gardner Minshew is quarterback week 15, you can bank it. We're taking a first-round quarterback.
Or they're going to trade.
We're taking a first-round quarterback. You can bank it.
Here's what I'll say. If Gardner Minshew is the quarterback in week 15, I would put my whatever amount you want that Russell Wilson is a quarterback next year.
No way. It's going to line up perfectly for us because these quarterbacks, none of them are really going to be a top 10 quarterback, right? No team is going to draft one of these guys in the top 10. So we're not going to move up for one. One's going to fall in our laps, and we're going to take them. And we're going to take them. That's what's going to happen. Bank it.
Charles Xavier. Yeah, we're just talking about comic books and all that stuff. Charles Xavier checking in. A2D Radio. You dumped Wentz after one slump, even though he has 4 established years of good film. Hurts doesn't have one good year, one good season. He's a mystery, inconsistent. Move on from him. Admit mistake.
Oh, come on, Professor. Not yet. Not yet. I can't do it.
Okay,
because my options out there aren't good. That's the only reason I'm not doing
point.
it. That's the only reason I'm not doing it.
And that's the hole in the argument that I'm about to propose.
All right.
You look at the Arizona Cardinals, right?
Okay.
They move up a bunch of spots in the draft.
Right.
They picked Josh Rosen out of UCLA.
Okay.
They took one look at Josh Rosen for one season, and they were, what did we do? What happened?
Right.
So they cut bait with Rosen. Now they stunk, and they had the first pick in the draft, and Kyler Murray was sitting right there.
Right.
So that's a little bit of the difference here. There's not a Kyler Murray at the top of this draft.
There's not a Kyler Murray, and
I totally agree.
And they went out and got a different coaching staff that Kyler Murray fits with perfectly.
Right.
All right.
So
we're going to keep Nick Sirianni.
Look, I'm all, but the part of Charles Xavier's comment that I agree with is admit you were wrong.
I'm okay with that. I've been begging it. That's the first thing I said on here. I need Howie and Jeffrey and Nick Sirianni to come out and tell me. Come out and say it. Just like Phillies. Like, I need you guys to come out and say, we're going to go over the luxury tax. We're going to do it. I don't want to hear it's stupid money nonsense. I want to hear you say it. Come out and say it.
Bryce Blackwell, he's in the house checking us out on YouTube. He thinks Howie really wants Wilson. I agree with that statement. I don't think Jeffrey's going to let him pull the trigger.
I think it's look. Honestly, I think it's.
We're going to find with this quarterback mess, and that's what it is. It's a mess right now.
Yeah.
We're going to find a lot. I think we're going to find a lot about how the hierarchy works.
Right.
And I know we all think we kind of know, but this is going to be the be all end all, at least in my opinion. If you see Jalen Hurts come back, Jalen Hurts is going to be here in 2022, and Jeffrey Lurie is meddling in the team entirely too much, and that's not good.
Right.
And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be Jalen Hurts. If Gardner Minshew plays, then I think that the drafting a quarterback comes into play.
Yep.
And trading for Russell Wilson comes into play because Howie doesn't think that.
And both of those options are god awful. Both of those options are god awful.
But you said you want to win a Super Bowl.
I do.
Okay, but if you get a guy in here that can play and is a franchise quarterback.
And you're still going to have a shit offensive line. You're still going to have a shit defense.
Yeah.
You're not winning nothing.
And we talked about this, last week or 2 weeks ago. If you go out and trade for Russell Wilson, there goes your draft capital. There goes your salary capital because he makes a lot of money.
There it is.
And you're going to have to give up to get him.
Yep.
And I'm cool with giving up the picks because Russell Wilson's, 31, 32? He's never really been injured. I mean, I'm not going to count.
He's starting to become an injured guy.
I'm not gonna classify a dislocated finger as a major injury. He's never had an ACL. He doesn't get hamstring strains. He does really
and
good.
And he does fight through injuries.
And he's documented on how well he takes care of his body.
Right.
So I would give up the draft capital. Okay, now you have Russell Wilson throw into Devontae Smith and Goddard, which is not good weapons.
That sounds nice. Yeah.
I'm not paying Miles Sanders, so you need a running back. I think the offensive line's pretty good, set up for success.
I think you're going to lose a couple people next year, but okay.
Yeah, but you got Dickerson, and it sucks Driscoll got hurt because he was really coming along.
Right.
And you got Mailata at left tackle,
yeah,
who looks like a monster. I love Jordan Mailata. But then you're limited in what you can do, what you can bring in free agency in the draft on the defensive side of the ball, which there's obviously holes.
Right. But doesn't to me, Jalen Hurts has done a good enough job that I'm okay trying to build around him. I'm okay trying to take all that money, all that draft capital. Let's get a defense. Let's build around him. Then if we need to, in 2 or 3 years, go get a quarterback, okay.
Right.
But I'm okay with having my quarterback right now be a game manager, which he has been.
That's fine. You can't throw 3 picks.
It happened one game.
Okay.
It happened one game. Why would don't?
But it can't. I'm trying to give this kid every benefit of the doubt possible because I want him to be the quarterback here,
right.
And I want to have a New England Patriots-esque offseason.
Then say it. Week 15, you want him in. Say it. I want to hear you say it.
You got to figure out about Hurts.
Yeah,
You got to start him.
You
So
got.
how did I word the poll question? Gardner Minshew will be the quarterback for the rest of the season.
Right.
So I disagree to the poll.
Thank you. That's all I want to hear.
Put Jalen.
That's it.
But you got to talk. We're going to talk
That's all I wanna
about it.
hear.
We're confused. We're in flux. We're frustrated. We're losing the Giants. We get 17 QBR. I can't get out of my head. You get 200 points for writing your name on the SATs, and Jalen Hurts got a 440 last week against the Giants.
One bad game. Come on. Stop, everyone. Stop getting off the bandwagon. This is what Philly fans do. Why? Why do we do this? Stop.
Because
everyone, stop.
We're temperamental, negative, pessimistic, blue-collar son of a guns.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. I wish I wasn't, too.
I try not to be, but people don't change, John.
No. People, the tiger doesn't lose the stripes.
Don't change. So we got a lockout in baseball.
Oh, boy.
This is bad. They need to get this resolved.
This needs to get resolved within the next 2 months, yeah. This needs to get resolved by spring training.
Negotiate, get a good deal. It's good for the owners. Get a good deal. It's good for the players.
Yeah, right now it doesn't matter.
Spring training on time.
Yes.
Well, it only matters because you can't sign people and make trades.
You can't negotiate, yeah. And that's okay. I listen, no one can do it. It's not like we're being held back. The Phillies are being held. No one can do it. So it's okay, right? But it needs to be done before spring training.
I like the Knable signing.
So do I. It's a quiet, very good signing.
Yeah, and as opposed to like the gaudy $300 million contract.
Right.
Like you need those guys too.
Yeah, this is what makes you a World Series team, getting guys like this.
And I think that Dombrowski in this front office has a lot of stock in Sir Anthony Dominguez.
So do I.
I think that's why Hector Neris is in Houston.
What was it?
Because of him.
4 years ago, he was voted the number one guy, 25 and under, in the city of Philadelphia. Right?
Well, he is great. He had. I don't know what he's got now.
Don't know what he got now.
John surgery,
right.
But guys bounce back from that.
For what we get, $725,000. I think we're paying him
he
this
doesn't
year.
have to go out there and throw 100 pitches every night.
No, I would love to see him be the ninth inning guy. I would love to see him be the closer.
You got Coonrad back there. You got Knable. You got Dominguez.
Dominguez is going to be good, yeah.
They made it.
Alvarado.
They made a great under-the-radar signing. They signed a utility man from the Atlanta Braves, Johan Camargo.
Yes.
I really, really like that signing. Now, when
I think that's going to be an upgrade.
When I say, if Bohm has his head up his ass, like he can be,
right,
you can put Camargo at third. Because Camargo's had seasons in this league where he's hit 20 bombs, 70 RBIs. He can hit.
That's an upgrade from Freddie Galvis, who was that guy for us last year.
And he can play all over the diamond.
Yeah.
And then he gets phased out in Atlanta because you got, Austin Riley comes up and Acuna comes up.
I forget where it was. Was it San Diego where he had that breakout year? I think it was San Diego.
It was on Atlanta. He's been on Atlanta. Okay. He's only been on Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're right. He had one great year and then kind of
16, 17, I think 16, maybe 17.
I can't remember what year.
I think 16 was his first year. Then he kind of busted out. But then 17. The Braves actually developed talent.
Right.
And, he kind of got phased out.
He was odd man out, yeah.
And then I think he's going to play a key role on this team.
I do think he's going to be an everyday player, but he's going to be an everyday player at different positions. Right? He's going to spot everyone. And I'm okay with that.
It's a great, I like it even more if the DH comes.
Yeah.
Because then you go Bohm third, and you mix Camargo in at third, and if
he can play first too.
If Segura is being an idiot, you can put him at second.
Right.
I wouldn't maybe he can play left. I don't know. Utility guy can't. It's not that hard for an athlete like that to play left field.
Right,
I think he'll be fine out
there.
No,
I do. I agree. I think that's a great signing for us. Yeah.
But I mean, you need.
You still have a lot of holes. You still have a lot of holes in the Phillies.
And, it's really Story, Correa, Bryant. All the pitching's kind of been nabbed up before the lockout.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a top-of-the-line starter. That's not going to happen. We're not going to trade for one either. That's not going to happen. I think maybe you get a low-end number 4, maybe a number 5 starter. And we still have a little bit of work in the bullpen to do. But you have those 2 huge holes in the outfield that
I mean, center field's been a black hole since Victorino.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you need to fill those 2 voids. I don't know if anyone out there knows or has heard or has an idea of where the heck is Adam Haseley?
Who cares?
I care because he was our starting guy last year. I at least want him as a backup this year. Is he? What happened to him? I have no idea.
He's just the bust.
He's not a bust. You can't call a guy a bust. He was having a pretty decent year.
John. Like, I know you want to develop guys and you don't want to pull the plug and you want to give guys chances. But
you have to.
When I see all around the league 19, 20, 21-year-old guys step into the league out of the minors and they're hitting 25 home runs right off the bat, and I see guys in Philadelphia that can't, have a string together at bats that look competent, it's hard for me to not sit here and be frustrated and be like, this guy stinks. I don't want him here.
I hear you, and you're right.
Go be someone else.
We just don't have that guy.
I don't want Adam Haseley to be my project. I want Adam Haseley to be someone else's project.
Okay, all
right. I'm in a big time market. I have an owner that claims he has stupid money.
Say it,
and I have a Dave Dombrowski who's been a winner everywhere I go. I don't have time for Adam Haseley projects. I don't have for Mickey Moniak projects. I don't have time for Alec Boehm projects. Bryson Stott, if someone wants to give me a big time player, absolutely, I'm moving him.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm gonna butcher his name probably. I think AJ Punk or Puke or however
AJ Punk from
I'm not moving him. Him I like.
Wait, I thought he was on the A's. He's in the Phillies organization now?
I thought that's who did we just draft?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it was him, right? Was it him?
AJ Puck was an ace at Florida.
Product?
Ace at Florida.
Whoever the guy we just drafted. I'm sorry, the left-hander that we just drafted.
Okay.
I'm not moving him. I thought it was Puck or whatever. But I guess it's not.
Maybe it is. Maybe he's got the same. I don't know.
But whoever that is, I'm not moving. I'm not moving young talent. I don't want to move young talent. We don't have any to move. You're literally like, we're saying we want these young 19-year-old guys, but yet we want to move them all for 30-year-old proven guys. At some point, it's got to stop. At some point, we got to develop somebody.
Yeah, and anyone that got picked in this draft, like you're saying, this guy, who knows if he's good or not, keep him around.
Right.
But the guys that Clintac picked and the guys
I'm okay.
Other
Moniak,
regimes,
I'm done on. Yeah.
Well, he has I'm talking about the guys with value.
Right.
If I can move, if I can get Josh Hader in here.
Oh, I'm all for that. Yeah. I'm all,
the Brewers want to call me up and be like, hey, you got that shortstop Stott, and we have Josh Hader, who we can't see ya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I'm all for
see
that.
Ya. These A's, Ramon Lorano or Chapman or Olsen. We want Stott. We think he's good. We're going to develop him because we can't pay anybody because we're a small market. Okay.
Right.
You have this guy. We'll take Chapman. Cool.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Ralphie just sent me a text.
Yeah.
College football rankings just came in.
Okay.
We got Alabama 1.
No surprise there.
Michigan 2.
It really didn't matter.
Okay. Georgia 3. And Cincy does make it at 4.
But you can't. The only way Cincy doesn't make it is if Oklahoma State beat Baylor, and then it's a little bit of a debate.
Are you okay with Bama 1?
Yes.
Yeah.
SEC champion. They picked Georgia apart yesterday.
They did. Yeah, they did.
Clearly the best team. Okay. And then if you really want, and because I gave out 2 hammer plays yesterday on Monday on the Sports Hounds.
Right.
I gave everyone Alabama plus 6.5. Which is ridiculous that a team as good as Alabama is 6.5. Getting 6.5, let alone a touchdown.
Right.
Essentially a touchdown. That's crazy talk. And I gave everyone Michigan minus 10.5.
I love both of them, yeah.
So you look at that, Bama wins. They're 1. The only way you can take Cincinnati out is if Oklahoma State wins and you value Baylor.
A little bit higher than what they are, yeah.
Based on the Baylor, they beat Baylor.
Right.
That win puts them over 4. But you can't put Notre Dame in because Cincinnati beat Notre Dame in South Bend.
Yeah, I would rather see Notre Dame there. That was me.
And then
I'm putting Notre Dame there.
And then the 2-3 didn't matter because Michigan is going to play Georgia.
Right.
Well, who cares who's 2 and who's 3?
This is what I hate. All right, Alabama, Cincinnati. What's that point spread looking like? Is that in the 30s?
Let's see. There's got to be.
See
if it's up
maybe
yet.
it's out, yeah. But, I mean, I don't want to watch that game. That game has zero interest to me. Now, if you're talking Alabama Notre Dame, I'm all over it. I'm not missing it. And that's to me the downfall of college.
Right. And I think that you would have a leg to stand on if Cincinnati and Notre Dame didn't play head-to-head.
Right. And Cincinnati wins.
But you can't throw that out. And Cincinnati was on the road.
Yeah.
By the way, Houston, they were ranked 20th.
Correct.
And they picked them apart.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're backing in against some bad team. So they did what they were supposed to do. They picked apart a top 20 team, 20, 21, whatever it was.
Without looking at the spread, what are you giving the spread? Bama Cincy.
14.5.
Oh, that's lower than what I'm doing. Okay.
I mean, 30. That's crazy.
I'm literally 24.
I'm gonna see if. Let me see if it's out.
I think they win by 24.
Well, you didn't ask me how much they're gonna win by. You asked me what the spread would be.
Okay. I mean, I would hope that would be kind of the same. But yeah, that game just does not interest me whatsoever. I'm not going to sit down and watch
so it's 13.5.
It's only 13.5. I'm
betting,
all over Bama.
Betting Bama.
All over Bama. Like, I'm taking it tonight.
Well,
I'm
along with my
all over it.
Along with my big bets on Michigan and Alabama, I also put $50 on Alabama to win the national championship before
You're right,
the Georgia game, which was like 6-7 to 1, something like that.
Realistically, what does that number go up to by kickoff? 17?
When are these games? December 31st, New Year's Eve. Nice. Now I don't have to make gaudy monstrosity New Year's Eve plans, and I can just sit back and watch the games. I actually love that.
That goes up to 17, right? All the money's going to be on Bama. It has to be.
It might creep up to like 17, maybe.
Yeah.
And then Georgia, for those interested, Georgia's a 7-point favorite over Michigan, and I like Georgia there.
I like Georgia there, too.
I think
that's going to be a better game, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just not buying Michigan being able to physically impose against a defense like Georgia.
Right.
Like they did against a stinky Iowa team. And I don't think a team that platoons quarterbacks or uses 2 quarterbacks like Michigan does. Right. Now they have like 3 guys in the mix because that freshman Edwards, he threw a bomb last night. So now they got him in the mix. I just don't think a team that doesn't have a true number 1 quarterback is going to be able to hang with Georgia. So it's going to be Alabama, Georgia again. I fully expect Alabama to win the football game. And if you peel back the onion on Georgia, their loss in the SEC championship wasn't really surprising because they ran through a very weak SEC East. And yeah, they had the signature win in the beginning of the season against Clemson, but Clemson turned out not to be very good.
Not good. Yeah. So it's not that signature win. You're right.
And, that happens sometimes. And Stetson Bennett, Georgia's quarterback, just looked overwhelmed by the Nick Saban Alabama defense.
I know it'll probably happen again. All right, let's get to fantasy.
Let me get the ins and the actives and inactives for the people here. If you got a fantasy question, you need some advice, throw it in the chat.
I'm giving one out now. I have a very hard decision here. My flex position. I have.
Did you mess up again like you did last week?
No, not yet. Not
yet.
Corey Davis has just been told active. All right, so he's in. Am I starting him or Devontae Freeman?
That's Ravens, Devontae Freeman?
Right, yes.
I'm going to go Corey Davis here, and here's why.
Okay.
My biggest fear about the Jets beating the Eagles is that Zach Wilson finally puts it all together and has like his
shows off that arm.
Yeah, and has like his coming out party against the Eagles, which is just such an Eagle thing to happen, I feel like. Such a Philadelphia sports Eagle thing to happen.
Right.
And I'm always in a passing league in a flex PPR.
Yeah.
I think you got to go receive. Ty should go to the receiver.
I agree. Last one then. So in this league, I have 2 flexes. So Corey Davis definitely has one. Now, do I go T.J. Hawkinson or Freeman?
So T.J. Hawkinson or
Devontae Freeman.
I'm going with the pass catcher.
Yeah,
I know he's a tight end, but he's
Right.
the number one receiver on Detroit.
Yes.
And
All right.
even though Jared Goff stinks, Hockenson seems to get his stats.
He
He's
always
with
gets
DeAndre
5 catches at least.
Yeah, with DeAndre Swift out, if the Lions were ever going to back into a touchdown, find the end zone somehow, it'll probably be TJ Hockenson.
You're right. Yep. Okay. All right. So I'm done mine. I'm good.
Okay, so we got Brandon Jackson. Check us out on YouTube Flex. Who should I go with, Josh Jacobs or Boston Scott?
Is Boston Scott playing? Is he deemed active?
Trying to pull it up now. Inactives and inactives. Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins are in. Brandon Cooks is in. Boston Scott is in. Corey Davis is in.
So what was the question? Jacobs or Scott?
I would assume that Jacobs is in. He's always banged up.
He's always banged up too. Yeah, he was questionable coming in, but he usually is always a go.
I tell you what, Nick Sirianni, he seems to have it with Howard out. He seems to want to give the football in the running game to anyone other than
Sanders.
anyone but Sanders.
Right.
Because it was Gainwell when Sanders was healthy, then Sanders gets hurt. And then it's Howard and Scott and the whole
Sanders
crew.
comes back and
Sanders is out. Then it's Boston Scott again, and then Howard's out, and it's Boston Scott, not Miles Sanders. So I don't know. I think that
it's a lot harder choice than what it should be. Put it that way.
I like Boston Scott.
I would go Scott probably too. Yeah, I do think he's going to have a pretty decent game today.
The Jets aren't a very good run defense, statistically
Jets
speaking.
Just aren't a good defense in general.
They've been better though. They're getting better, and like they're not dreadful. They got a win last week against the Texans, but you got to start somewhere. So,
yeah,
but yeah, I would go Boston Scott.
You got
inactives? Inactives? No, I think I'm set. Hurts is obviously inactive. Kadarius Toney and Sterling Shepard are going to miss their games.
Okay.
Allen Robinson, he's not going to play.
Right.
Boy, oh boy, Allen Robinson. What a
he's
horrendous
been a break. Yeah.
I mean, it's a contract year for him. There's a guy for you want to use your
if
cap
you could
space.
get him cheap, yeah.
I mean, he doesn't do anything. I don't see how he would cost a lot of money.
His talent is there. He's not. He's pretty young. He's not old.
All the Penn State fans in the area, they'll be all in on that. Just like they overvalued Sanders because he.
I would love
Penn
that
State.
signing. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Is he better than Jalen Reagor?
Yeah, anyone is right now.
Yep. And by the way, Jalen Reagor should be inactive today. He should be absolutely benched. This coaching, no, but seriously, you need to send a message to this football team that concentration mistakes that happen twice, not once, but twice in the latter stages of that Giants game are unacceptable. They're unacceptable.
The first one I could give them, it was over the shoulder catch, a little bit harder. But that end zone one, that Hail Mary one, like that went right through your hands with no one touching you. Yeah, you had no defender on you.
You need to send a message to your locker room that isn't acceptable.
Yeah.
And you go with, and I said it on the Sports Town on Monday, you go Quez Watkins and Devontae Smith as your outside guys, and you try Gainwell out in the slot.
Oh, yeah.
He did it in
college. What happened to Greg Ward? Did he just vanish?
He stinks. He dropped a touchdown last week, too.
Yeah, he did.
So I don't think he's in the best of graces with his coaching staff either. David Johnson, who I didn't even realize was still in the league, he's not playing today.
Yeah, he's been a starter for them.
Okay. And Philip Lindsay, who I believe is on the Dolphins now?
I don't know where the heck he is. He's been bounced around to like 3 different teams this year.
Always liked his running style, but he's not playing today. I think I'm pretty set on my fantasy.
Did you do a daily today? I got a daily lineup.
Okay, who's your daily lineup? No, I've been ice cold on daily.
And I have not.
Well, now I have money. Yeah, we'll put in a daily lineup.
You're gonna put it on?
I got some money. I'm flush, but I'm flush, baby. Go blue and roll tide. I'm flush.
All right, so I'm gonna start off with a kind of iffy quarterback, but I'm hoping
I always go iffy quarterback. I like that.
Now we're Matt Ryan against Tampa Bay at home. I know he doesn't have Ridley and everything, but I do think he's going to have to chuck the ball up 35 times.
Yeah,
today.
You got the garbage time factor too.
Right.
I'm going for it. 4,000 Gardner Minshew. Let's go.
You doing it?
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
My running backs I love.
You like Goddard today?
I love Goddard.
Let's get him on in there.
Love Goddard today. My running backs I like. Antonio Gibson is going to be the guy. J.D. McKissick, I believe, is out. So I think Gibson's going to have a big game today. And Rex Burkhead. I think is a really cheap
Okay. How can
value.
How can you not have Jonathan Taylor in your daily fantasy lineup?
I do. I have him in my flex.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. But cheap wise, I think Rex Burkhead is going to be a very cheap option today.
Let's get our defense in there. Who's a cheap defense? Cheap defense.
I didn't go cheap. I went to top.
I always try and get the cheapest defense I possibly can.
3,200, I think, is a good one. I forget who it was.
32 is the Vikings.
Vikings, yeah, against Detroit.
I'm in. Yeah. Let's go. All right.
Wide receivers. What do you got? What are you looking at?
I'm doing this cold, so I apologize for I'm trying to throw one together here. We have about 10 minutes to kick off.
I'll give you one that I really like.
Who do you got?
Brandon Ayuk. He's going to be the number one guy today.
Debo's not there. I
think he's going to be a good one. He's at 5,600.
I'm going to go with. Give me Action Jackson. Oh, he's out today?
He's out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe like he got going on Thanksgiving and the Redskins. The football team.
Right.
They used to play there. Justin Jefferson's a stud. Let's grab him up.
Okay.
Another receiver. We have Barrett. How much is Ayuk? I kind of like that.
56. So it's kind of a under average kind of guy who should put up big numbers. The other one that I'm actually really in love, Andy Dalton starting today. Money.
I like that. He's a good player.
Love him.
Let me get another running back in here. Joe Mixon now.
You're going to save a little bit. It sounds like you got a little high priced team there. You're going to find a little saver somewhere.
Yeah. Don't worry about your daily fantasy team over there. I'm going to throw in. I got playoff Lenny.
Okay.
He's been on fire.
Yes, he has.
It seems like Tampa Bay is really trying to, feature him a little bit down the stretch here, take a little pressure off Brady.
Right, and for the same reason I like Ryan is probably the same reason you should like Fournette. Is fourth quarter he's probably going to get a lot of touches.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. Now I got a dumpster dive. Let's dumpster dive here. This is why it's fun.
This is
why it's fun, and then there's no way I'm going to be able to dumpster dive to the extent that I need the dumpster dive. So I'm going to.
It sounds like you got a high price team over there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do something here.
All right, keep in mind we got 8 minutes, so hurry up.
Let's do the here. I'll finalize it. Let's do our parlay.
Oh yeah.
Let's do our parlay, and I'll tinker around with this. We'll see if I can finalize something.
All right, but you want to give a final prediction on the Eagles while we're
24. I got the Eagles 24-20.
24-20. That's a little bit closer than I thought. Okay.
I don't think they're good enough to blow somebody out.
I'm not thinking a blowout, but no touchdown. You're not winning by a touchdown today.
No. I would take the Jets. I'm not touching the game just because I'm sick of that.
I gotta wear Giants gear because of last week.
Yeah, and Brad, I'm going to be at the Eagles Giants game, and Brad will be here hosting the show in my stead.
Yes,
and he don't you. Bet your bottom dollar. That's the first thing he said on the Sports Hounds on Monday. I know you were at the Sixers game, but he said he's going to get you.
I know. I'm expecting. Next door is getting me too next week.
You bet him too.
I got 2 weeks in a row wearing Giants.
Oh my God.
All right. So I have Eagles 30-17. I do think this is going to be a big game, and I do think this front office coaching staff is going to have a decision to make because Gardner Minshew is going to look pretty good in this game. And that terrifies me more than us winning or losing today. That decision terrifies me more.
It could get hairy.
It could get hairy. Right.
I tell you what, keep it locked here on A2D Radio because controversy is king.
Yeah, this off week is going to be an adventure.
Because if Gardner Minshew does bad, and you have Jalen Hurts being coming off his 17 QBR, I can't believe he had a 17 QBR. It's unfathomable. It was that bad. But I mean, now you got no guys that are playing good, or if Minshew goes good and Mustache Mania takes off,
my God,
you're gonna have the Hurts
city's
people
gonna be on fire.
And you're gonna have the Hurts people that are super butthurt and.
How many Gardner Minshew mustaches do we see in the stands today?
If Gardner Minshew throws for 300 yards today, I will buy and wear a Gardner Minshew mustache.
Heard it here first.
On the here. If he throws for 300 yards and a win. I don't care if you throw for 300 yards and lose.
Yeah, right. All right, I got the DraftKings up. You want to roll it? Right,
I don't love the card today. I really don't.
Neither do I. Let's do it real fast, though, because we only got 5 minutes. All right. Tampa going to Atlanta. Tampa minus 10.5.
I mean, the only play here is Tampa.
I'm all over it. All right. Indy going to Houston. Indy minus 10.
I mean, we talk about it every week when the Colts come up. Carson Wentz and the Colts are bullies. If they're playing a bad team, hammer them like the Texans. Yep. They play the Bucs like last week. You take the Bucs. They can't beat good teams.
It's really scary. The first 2 picks we're going big favorites on the road, which is usually not a good betting option. But here's another one. Minnesota going to Detroit. Minnesota minus 7.
Minnesota.
Man. All right.
The Lions are so bad.
Plus
Johnny.
7? I don't know. Okay.
I could see the Lions not scoring 7 points.
Yeah.
So that's my logic with these big spreads on the road.
That
is one I feel really confident about, and the Colts I feel really confident about.
Okay. All right.
I'm not thrilled with.
We got all road teams going today, and we're probably
not thrilled with the Tampa pick just because it's a division game and that's a lot of points.
Right.
And that's in Atlanta.
Right? Yeah. No. Yeah. It's in Atlanta. Yeah. Cardinals going to the Bears minus 8.
I mean, if Murray's in and Hopkins is in, the Bears have been so bad. But you know what?
I'm all over the Bears.
Let's do it.
I'm taking the 8. I think they lose by a touchdown or less.
Yeah, maybe Murray takes a half to get back in the swing.
Yeah, I'm taking the points.
Dalton's playing. Maybe he'll be I like it. 8 at home in Chicago.
Yeah,
little West Coast, little spa treatment, Arizona weather going to Chicago. Maybe that plays a factor as well.
Got the Chargers going to Cincy. Cincy minus 3. I love the Chargers here.
I like the Chargers too. 21 gun salute. Me and Brad Ryer. It's our favorite betting system. If you win by 21 points the next week, you ain't covering. Yeah. Cincinnati, if you remember, they smoked the Steelers last week. So Bengals ain't covering today. Chargers.
Eagles going to the Jets. Eagles minus 4. We're all over the Eagles, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So my prediction is a push.
Right. Giants going to Miami. Miami minus 7. I feel like that's a lot of points. But Miami's been...
Well, Mike Glennon's starting, so I'll take the Dolphins.
Sure.
Dolphins have been
They've been one of the highest
better.
Teams. Yeah. Jags going to the Rams. Rams minus 14. Biggest spread of the week, I believe.
I don't know. I don't think the Rams are good enough right now to be laying that many points.
I think we got to leave a game off. Is this a game maybe we leave off?
Yeah.
All right. Washington going to Las Vegas. Vegas minus 2. I got to love Vegas here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's put a star next to that one.
I think that's my game
Vegas
too.
a lot.
Yeah.
Washington. I'm waiting for the clunker from Washington. They're not good enough to just win all these games and run through the league.
Right.
And now you're a short week going out west, so I think that this is.
I think this is it.
This is a good spot for Vegas, and I'm really falling in love with this Raiders team.
So am I.
There's a lot to like. They beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, which just made Thanksgiving that much more enjoyable.
There's a fun player I love watching, Hunter Renfrow.
He's great.
He just runs such crisp routes. I enjoy watching.
And then it's just a team. How many times could the Raiders have just folded up? Be like, oh, not going our way this season.
Yeah.
You get Gruden gets axed.
Always bounce back.
Ruggs with that tragedy, and they just keep ticking. Derek Carr leads the league in passing yards.
Could be the best game of the week this week. You got Baltimore going to Pittsburgh. Baltimore minus 4.
Love Baltimore.
Love Baltimore.
Love them.
I love Pittsburgh, but I'll take Baltimore.
I don't think the Steelers are any good.
With all the nonsense coming out with Ben, this being his last year now, it got leaked and everything, I think he puts up a good game.
Is Darren Waller playing today? No, right?
I don't know.
Let's get that Foster, whatever his name is, in my fantasy lineup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think Waller's out. All right, last couple ones here. San Fran going to Seattle. San Fran minus 3. Seattle? Is this a week Seattle pulls it out?
No,
All
I
right.
can't. I
All right.
can't because I thought it was going to be last week, and they looked dreadful. And the Niners, I think they got a stranglehold on that 6th seed.
All right.
And I wouldn't want to play like if I'm Dallas, like Cowboy Jeff over here,
Right.
and I'm seeing the Niners come into Jerry World on Wild Card Weekend, I would be super nervous.
All right. Last two. It's 1 o'clock now. Denver going to KC for tonight's game. KC minus 7.5 all over KC.
Love it. Love it just as
Love
much
it.
as I like Bama and Michigan yesterday.
Yep.
The Chiefs are going to demolish
I agree.
the Denver Broncos. They've won 11 straight against Denver.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are really coming on. Chiefs are coming off a bye. We watch it for 20 years here in Philadelphia. Andy Reid is absolute money off a bye. Hammer the Chiefs.
Monday night, New England going to Buffalo. Could be the game of the week also. Buffalo minus 3. I love New England.
Love them.
Love New England.
Not as much as I like the Chiefs or Michigan or
Right.
Bama, but there's a better team, and I'm getting points.
I agree.
So,
all right, our final
$1
bet
in.
is in. Yeah, let's get the bet up here, and then we'll get out of here, guys.
all right, thank you to everyone who liked, subscribed, shared the show. Thank you to our great sponsor here at allCampus with Johnny Coyle, Cornhole, the whole deal. It's a lot of fun. You guys should come down and check it out. It's been absolutely gorgeous this football season. I might go on the beach right after the show.
It's amazing. I would love to watch the game on the beach.
Save myself the agita of watching the Eagles and the controversy that's going to ensue. But thank you to Ralphie Delavecchio
Yes.
for producing the show. He does a great job for us every week. I'll be on tomorrow at 9:30 with Flight Zone, and we'll be back here next Sunday. Bye week. We'll still do a show.
Yeah, we will. We'll be here. We'll be here.
Bye week. Maybe lay.
It's going to be the best week. All the controversy that's going to be coming around.
Yeah. So just keep it locked here on A2D Radio. He's John Coyle. I'm Rob Brinkman.